Good morning, everyone. Here I am with the very second video of the chapter 7, that is the growth of new ideas from history, integrated social science classics, Ratna Saga. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about the uh, one of the Tirthankars of Jainism, Lord Mahavira, also known as Vardhaman Mahavira. And in the previous module, we have already discussed about Gautam Buddha as teachings the Four Noble Truths and the Ashtangika Marg, or the Eightfold Path, okay, to end the sufferings, to end desires, to so that we can escape from sufferings, isn't it? So these are the topics which we are going to discuss today: the introduction to Jainism, then uh, how Mahavira and at what age he left his home, and what was the reason behind his journey, um, and at that age, and why he left his home at that age. Okay, and we'll also be discussing about the main teachings of Mahavira, and how this religion was spread, and the basic will also be reading about the reasons why Buddhism and Jainism became popular among the people. Okay, what were the reasons behind their popularization? As we have already discussed in the first module, that during the 6th century BC, these two religions were the most important religion, and out of 62, these two religions were highly practiced by the people. Okay, during the 6th century BCE, and I have also discussed that though Mahavira and Buddha both belong to the Kshatriya clan, they argumented the authority of the Brahmanas, and they were somehow against few evils which were going on in the society during that particular period, and that is why they started propagating, and they started teaching people and preaching the how to end sufferings. Okay, so here is the next slide, which shows something about Jainism. So Jainism, Jain, the word Jain means follower. Okay, means the followers of uh, Jain. Okay, basically Jain means the follower of Jina. Okay, that's Jina, Jina. As you can see here, it is written Jina. Okay, the followers of Jina. And who is this Jin? He is basically the person who has attained infinite knowledge. Okay, he is basically the person who has attained infinite knowledge and teaches others how to attain moksha. Okay, how to attain moksha. So Vardhaman Mahavira, the one of the 24 Tirthankars and the last of the 24 Tirthankars as well, okay, was born at Kundagram near Vaishali in Bihar in 540 BCE, okay, in 540 BC, yes, that's BC, okay, before common era, what we call now BCE. Okay, and Lord Buddha, let me tell you about Lord Buddha, that is Gautam Buddha also, because it is very important to know that in which year Lord Buddha was born, though in the previous class I have not discussed it. So Lord Buddha was born in 563 BC. Okay, 563 BCE, 563 BCE, and Vardhaman 540 BCE at Kundagram near Vaishali in Bihar. His childhood name was Vardhaman. That is why he is known as, he is famous as Vardhaman Mahavira to everyone. His father named Siddharth was the name of the father was Siddharth. Okay, who was the head of a Kshatriya clan, was Jatrika clan. Okay, he was the head of the Kshatriya clan. named Jatrika clan. His mother, okay, his mother name was Trishala. Trishala was basically a Lichavi princess, okay, she was a Lichavi princess. um, and Mahavira was married to Yashoda, because these things are not given in the book, but you must know such things. That is why I'm sharing it. That Mahavira was married to Yashoda, okay, by whom he had a daughter called Anoja, okay, Anoja. Yes, Anoja was his daughter, okay, and he renounced his family at the age of 30. He left his family at the age of 30 after the death of his parents, okay, after the death of his parents he left his home at the age of 30 and became an ascetic. I have told you what basically ascetic means in the very previous module. And ascetic is basically a person who is unaffected by pain, sorrow, and misery around him. Who is an ascetic person? And who is an ascetic? An ascetic is a person who is unaffected, who appeared unaffected by the pain, sorrow, and misery around him or her, you can say, okay. uh, so he became an ascetic and proceeded in search of truth. That is why we call quest for truth, okay. He wandered for about 12 years, okay, he wandered for about 12 years from place to place in search of knowledge. And then one day he realized the truth, okay, and through his knowledge he conquered both. One day he realized the truth, and through his knowledge he conquered both misery and happiness, okay. He conquered misery and happiness through knowledge, and he came to be known as Jinnah the Conqueror, okay. Vardhaman Mahavira was also known as Jinnah the Conqueror. And right now, I have told you what Jinnah is. Jinnah is basically the person who has attained infinite knowledge and teaches others how to attain moksha. Okay, and the followers his followers were known as Jains. Okay, the followers of Jainism are known as Jains. He also visited the court of Bimbisar and Ajat Shatru. Now you must be wondering that who are Bimbisar and who is Ajat Shatru, isn't it? Bimbisar was the king of Magad, okay, and belonged to Haryanka dynasty. Okay, he belonged to Haryanka dynasty. He was the ruler of Magad of Haryank dynasty, and his successor was Ajat Shatru. Okay, Ajat Shatru was his successor. He became the king of Haryanka dynasty of Magad in the East India, means he became the king after his father, next his father, King Bimbisar. Okay, actually, Bimbisar was the contemporary of both Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. And Ajatashatru somehow took over the kingdom of Magad forcefully from his father. Okay, he imprisoned his father Bimbisar and he took over the kingdom, the Magad kingdom and the dynasty forcefully. Okay, so this is about Bimbisar and Ajat Shatru. And it was Mahavira who was very compassionate about the propagation of the knowledge, okay, how to attain moksha or nirvana. And he propagated his religion for 30 years. Vardhaman Mahavira propagated his religion, that is Jainism, for 30 years, and his mission took him to Koshala, Magad, Mithila, and other states also. Okay, and he used to taught in Prakrit. Okay, Mahavira taught in Prakrit. Why in Prakrit? Because during this period, Prakrit was the language which the common people spoke. Okay, Prakrit was the knowledge, was the language which common people spoke. That is why he propagated or he taught in the Prakrit language. Okay, and Tirthankars, we have also discussed that he was the last of 24 Tirthankars. So Tirthankars basically means religious teachers of Jainism, and the first Tirthankar was Rishabh Dev. Okay, and the 23rd was Parshvanath. You must have heard about Parshvanath, isn't it? You must have heard about the Parasnath Hill. Hmm? Where is it, Parasnath Hill? Parasnath is basically is located towards the eastern end of Chota Nagpur Plateau in the Giridih district of the Indian state of Jharkhand, India. Okay, of Jharkhand, and the hill is named after Lord Parshvanath. He was the 23rd Tirthankara. Okay, and the name of this hill is after Lord Parshvanath only. Let us move on to the next slide and see what else is there in this under this topic. So we'll be moving with the next one, and that one is the main teachings. What were the main teachings of Lord Mahavira? As you can see here, that Mahavira believed in simple life. He was against rituals and animal sacrifices. He believed that every living being has a soul. Okay, he believed that every living being has a soul. Therefore, one should follow the principle of non-injury, okay, or non-violence, okay, and do no harm to any living being. Okay, even the killing of an ant, according to him, was also a sin. Is also a sin. Okay, he believed that the goal of life is to, let me see my cursor, I'm unable to see my cursor. So he believed that the goal of life is to set the soul free, not to be born again in this world. Okay, is basically the goal could be achieved through three ratnas. Okay, what he said, he believed we can set our soul free, and we can liberate ourselves from the cycle of rebirth. How? The goal could be achieved through three ratnas, or the three jewels of life. What these three jewels were? Right belief, right knowledge, and right action. He never believed in caste system, and he taught that everyone could attain liberation by performing good deeds. Okay, if we want ourselves to be liberated from the cycle of rebirth, we must perform good deeds. Now moving on to the spread of this particular religion. So the Mahavira's original teachings were first preserved through oral traditions only, but they were later written down, and over time, Jainism became popular from Odisha in the west to Gujarat Odisha in the east to Gujarat in the west, then Mysore in the south, okay, to Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Madhya Pradesh also. The Jain monks, what they did, they established monasteries as well at all these places. Wherever they preached, they established monasteries, okay, for settling down. And later the Jain, this religious sect was divided. Okay, this religious sect was divided into two groups, Digambars and Swetambars. Okay, Digambars basically the sky clad, or you can say group, okay, a sect. So those who do not wear clothes, okay, these sect, the people of this sect do not wear clothes, and Swetambars were the white clad, the white group, or you can say the white Jain sect. Those who wear only white clothes. Okay, the people who follow Swetambar clad, okay, the white clad, they wear only white clothes. Now, uh, the question which I have asked earlier, or which I have just a thing I have shared it in the very starting point, that why what were the reasons, okay, behind the spread of Jainism and Buddhism? What were those the reasons why Jainism and Buddhism were practiced by everyone, or you can say basically the people uh, who were somehow facing the atrocities of the dominated classes, okay, of the dominating classes. That is why to save themselves also, and somehow to uh, uh, stop them from those atrocities, or to somehow uh, they were basically done with the atrocities which they were facing under that caste system or caste ridden society. That is why they started, they also moved towards these two religion. Let me show you the reasons why they actually was inclined towards these religion. The very first reason is they were easy to practice, okay, these religions were easy to practice. And the Buddha and Mahavira, they preached in language commonly spoken. We have already discussed Prakrit was the commonly spoken language, okay, and was easily understood also. And both Buddha and Mahavira, Vardhaman Mahavira and Gautam Buddha, did not believe in caste system, okay, and people from lower castes were, that is why, attracted by the idea of social equality. These two religions somehow spread the message of social equality, and that is why people were highly attracted to this particular to these particular religions. Okay, let us sum up what we have read till now in the two modules. The teachings of Gautam Buddha are known as Buddhism. Okay, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path contain his main teachings. He believed in ahimsa, the middle path, that is a balanced life. Okay, and the equality of all people. The teachings of Mahavira and his predecessors, whosoever were there, the 23 Tirthankars, are known as the teachings of Mahavira and his predecessors are known as Jainism. Okay, so and Mahavira popularized the three jewels of life. We have seen the three jewels of life, that is right belief, right knowledge, and right action. Okay, and he was against rituals, animal sacrifices, and the caste system. Buddhist and Jain monks lived in monasteries, and both Buddhist and Jain monks, what they did, they propagated this Jainism and Buddhism in certain areas during their period, and most of the people from low caste were highly attracted towards these two religions, because they were somehow spreading the idea of social equality. Okay, that is all for today, and in the very next video we'll be dealing with Upanishads only. Till then, have a nice day, and do read the chapter after watching the video, or you can either read the chapter first and then watch the video. Thank you and have a nice day.